Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is Muhammad Daniel Haikal bin Azizan. We are from Pablo Ganteng Group and we will present to you about our project. The Pavement Condition Index (PCI), a method for assessing the kind and severity of damage to road pavement, can serve as a reference for business engaged in repair work. The PCI technique is unable to forecast circumstance into the future. It can only provide data on pavement condition at the time of the survey. However, the periodically conducting condition surveys, information on pavement condition may be useful for predicting future performance and used as a more complete measurement input. Everyone who uses the road wants it to be safe, comfortable, clean, and etc., according to the theoretical and practical studies. The damage that occurs on the road must thus be appropriately handled and fixed. The Kampung Jawa road is far from ideal due to the abundance of holes and waves as well as the substantial damage the previous excavation operation did to the road. There are 5 objectives have been outlined in order to realize the aim of this research. First, determination of road and lots pavement condition through visual surveys using the Pavement Condition Index (PCI) method of quantifying pavement condition. Second, identify immediate maintenance and rehabilitation needs. Third, projecting future condition and monitor pavement condition over time. Fourth, develop road maintenance budget. And last one is number 5, evaluate pavement material and designs. I think that's all from me. So I will pass this presentation with the next presenter. Thank you.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is Muhammad Aizan Akudebe Muhammad Azali. So today I will present about our study location. This project, our group took a road distance of 500 meter on Jalan Kampung Java. At every 100 meter, we collect every available road damage. We found that there were 6 road damage in the first 100 meter. For the second 100 meters, they will also have 6 road breakdowns. As for road damage for the third 100 meters, have 4 road damage. At the fourth 100 meter, they have 5 road damage, and in the last 100 meter, there are 4 road damage. In every 100 meter, we found that the entire road has the same damage. For the equipment, we use measuring tape, survey data sheet, cone, spray, and distance measuring wheel.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is Muhammad Fidoshami bin Mak Fazuri. My nomenclature is AA210953. Now I can present about the method. The first is road section. This study was conducted at Jalan Kampung Raja, Pancho. Each group has been given the same distance to survey, which 500 meter. We are assigned to do a study of 5 sections, and the length of the study of each section was measured at 100 meter using the distance measuring wheel roller. The width of every 100 meter should be measured by a tape measure to find the area of every section of the road. Then the area is recorded. Second is make an inspection. The inspection is conducted visually by inspecting the damage to the pavement and road structure for each section. Each type of damage found on the road surface is identified. The Kejuruteraan Jalan Raya and Traffic HM module is used as a reference to determine the type of damage of the road surface. There are several types of damage, including crack, surface deformation, surface defect, patch, pothole, and edge defect. Third is data collection. This activity begins with inspecting the sample unit of pavement district, the length, width, depth, diameter, and area of the district, and all record. The severity of the district is then assigned to one of 3 levels: low, moderate, or high. On condition survey sheet, data and measurement will be recorded. Last is calculation the data. The PCI is calculated using data collected when inspecting the sample. The deduct value is an important item for calculating the PCI. A deduct value is a number ranging from 0 to 100. with 0 indicating that the district has no effect of the pavement condition, and 100 indicating that the district is particularly serious and caused the pavement to fail.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is Muhammad Azamuddin bin Azmi. My metric number is AA211287. In this section, I will present about data analysis or more detailed data of the damage that we identified at the road that has been chosen. For the first 10 meters, we found that there were 5 damage that occurred on the road. First of all, there is pothole damage and the level of damage is at a low level. Next, there is longitudinal and transverse damage, cracking, and the damage level for this damage is low. There are 2 similar damage which are lane on and shoulder drop off, and this damage is at level M, which is moderate. Lastly, the damage found on the first 10 meters of road is polished aggregate. This damage is also at a moderate level. The pictures on this slide show the damage found on the first 10 meters of the road. On the second 10 meter road, there were 3 identified damage which are longitudinal and transverse cracking, and this damage is at a moderate level. Next, there are 2 similar damage which are lane or shoulder drop off, and there's 2 damage at different level which are moderate and also high. The pictures on this slide show the damage found on the second 100 meter road. Okay, on the third 100 meter road, there are 4 damage found on this road. The first damage is lane or shoulder drop off, which is at a moderate level. Next, there are 2 similar damage but on different side, namely edge cracking. One of them is at a moderate level while the other is high. Lastly, polish aggregate is the type of damage found on this road, and this damage is at a low level. The pictures on this slide show the damage found on the third 100 meter. On the fourth 100 meter road, there are 3 identified damage and 2 of them are the same. The same damage is edge cracking, which are respectively at high and moderate level. Lastly, the damage found on this road is lane or shoulder drop off, which is at a low level. The pictures on this slide show the damage found on the fourth 100 meter road. Last 100 meters of the road, the damage identified is longitudinal and transverse cracking, which is at a low level. In addition, there are 2 similar damage that occur on this road, namely lane or shoulder drop off, which are at high and low level. Finally, the identified damage is potholes, which are at a low level. Okay, this slide will show about the image of damage that we identify at the last road.
So next we will see about the calculation for this project PCL. So we will go first with 100 meter first. So the first step, we need to determine the distress density and deduct value according to the stress survey. So our group has find for 100 meter first, there is 13L, which is pet hole in low condition. So the area is 0.32. So we need to find the density and deduct value. So to find the density, we need to use the formula 100 multiply by the area of the pet hole and divide by the area of the road. So it will be 100 multiplied by 0.32 divide by 410. So we will get 0.08. So from 0.08 density, we can find the deduct value based on the graph of the pet hole. So we get the deduct value is 54. So same calculation with other distress survey. So for the next step, we need to find the maximum allowable number of deduct, which is M. So to find M, we need to use a formula 1 plus 9 divided by 98 multiplied by 100 minus by HDV. So HDV is the highest deduct value. According to the 100 meter first, the highest deduct value is 54. So we need to minus by 54. So we will get 5.2. So the third step, we need to find the maximum corrected deduct value, CDV. So for 100 meter first, our group has find the maximum CDV is 56. So the last step, we need to determine the pavement condition index. So to find the PCI index, we need to use a formula 100 minus by CDV maximum. So we already find the CDV maximum in the third step. So we just minus 100 minus by 56, so it will be 44. So based on the rating for PCI value is 44. So this section of pavement is in poor condition, so which is level of survey is lossy and need a major rehabilitation or different action. So the total average of PCI for each segment, we get the PCI ranking for segment 1 is 44, which is the level of service is poor. For the segment 2, PCI rating is 68, which is the level of service is fair. For the segment 3, the PCI rating is 93, which is the level of service is good. And the segment 4, the PCI ranking is 75, so the level of the service is satisfactory. So the last segment, which is segment 5, is the PCI ranking is 55, so the level of service is fair. So to find the total average PCI, we need to plus all the segment and we need to divide by 5. So 44 plus 68 plus 93 plus 75 plus 55, so divide by 5, we will get 67. So 67 is actually in the fair condition, which is lossy. So the maintenance activity that we need is rehabilitation.
Alright, we proceed with the conclusion. In conclusion, we have achieved the objective of this study, which is to get the Pavement Condition Index (PCI) in information on Jalan Kampung Raja, to identify various types of distress and create a list of their occurrence in a hierarchy and measure the width and length of each type of distress on the road. We found that every 100 meter have their own road damage. After analyzing the data, we have obtained the highest Pavement Condition Index value is in segment 3, which is 93. This data show that the road actually is in good condition, but it is damaged because the way that people use on it. The overall average for the Pavement Condition Index value in this 5 segment need to give more attention by the government. In addition, we can demand that along the 500 meter information about the Pavement Condition Index show that is distress on this road. In suggestion way, the damage can be reduced. For example, reducing heavy vehicle passing through the road, such as trucks, heavy machine, and so on. Based on the photo of the road on the map, the road is a narrow road in the village surrounded by the houses of the villagers. By reducing the use of vehicle like this on the village road, the damage to the road will be decreased, simultaneously saving the cost of repairing road in the village.